Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to the channel. Unlike any other channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, my channel exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe.
So, let's get into today's video. I'd first of all like to say a massive thank you to everyone that has subbed to the channel. We've finally reached 1,000. I'm really appreciative for all the support. And today, we are finally going to bring a Pokemon to my knowledge that absolutely no one else has ever showcased in the Master League Classic. That is the big thick boy, and for once I'm not talking about my favourite big thick boy, Shadow Snorlax. Well, he is in the team, but his team partner is going to be the one and only Shadow Hariyama. Why don't we see this Pokemon in the Master League? Well, mine is a 13, 15, 14, so near hundo, and it maxes out at 27.99, so its stat product just really doesn't give it much play. However, it obviously is a very still heavy meta, so it has got some decent play if you can get the correct alignment. It has got the coverage move of Heavy Slam, which obviously is going to help you deal with any fairies. So the team we are building, we're going to have a Shadow Dragonite lead. This is another Pokemon I haven't used this season because there's fairies everywhere and steals everywhere. However, yesterday I did run my Ultra League Shadow Nidoqueen. If you saw the short, you'll see what I mean. And I was getting wrecked by Kyogre. So we're bringing that. We've got Shadow Snorlax on the save switch, and we're going to attempt to use Shadow Hariyama as the closer. I did try this in previous seasons, and this is the first season I've ever managed success. So let's get straight into the battles. In game 1, we pick up a dreadful lead against Dialga. We instantly save switch into Snorlax. They stay in, build up to the Iron Head, and switch out into Lugia. Lugia does beat Snorlax, despite the fact we are hitting for super effective with Lick. It's so bulky, these body slams do hardly anything. They throw at 5. This is just going to be a sky attack. We will survive, and we should be able to get to 2 more body slams. We do CMP, so no free Dragon Tail comes through, which is obviously advantageous for us. You can see that this Lugia is still super healthy. We once again look for the denial, which we get. We get to another body slam. However, this still isn't really offering any shield pressure. But the opponent does shield. They would have survived. They're now in the red. And we lose switch. However, we have got shield advantage. This could be key. Can Shadow Hariyama sweep game 1? We come in with Dragonite. The opponent looks to go for the Aeroblast. They fall one short. We instantly swap into Hariyama. And in the back, there is a Zarude. So we pick up game 1. So despite losing lead hard, we managed to beat one of the most meta teams you could possibly see. And in game 2, we pick up yet another dreadful Dialga lead. We lag, so we've probably lost about 1 million HP on our squishy Dragonite. Once again, they stay in, and we switch to Snorlax. They bring in Kyogre. This is what I was talking about yesterday. This stupid blue whale was absolutely everywhere, and Nidoqueen really didn't appreciate it. They switch out quite late. We are going to survive this surf, so I am going to let it go, and we'll get to 1 more body slam. There's no point shielding as I'll be unable to win switch as the waterfalls just absolutely chunk even the bulky Snorlax. So the body slam lands. I'm not actually lagging. I choose to not get any more lick damage. I want to just try and get a little bit of energy together with Dragonite. Obviously we resist the waterfalls and energy would be key as I might have to Dragon Claw that Dialga in the end game. So you can see already I'm spamming out the Hariyama. Our switch clocks are misaligned. However, the opponent should pop up now as they did wait out their switch timer, which is obviously the correct play from the opponent. They stay in. They are now at the Draco. We correctly shielded Draco, which obviously would have more than one shot. And in the back is an Excadrill. Are we going to be able to sweep once again with Hariyama? We did have some desync, so I tried to fire the Heavy Slam just before they got to the move. We get refunded, and now I'm just going to commit to the farm down. Hariyama absolutely deletes that Excadrill. We are loaded full of energy. In case you're wondering, I am running Superpower, not Close Combat, and that is for this game. Hariyama doesn't actually make 2 Close Combats. They just get Dragon Breath down, so I've had to go for Superpower. But we land the bait, and this Superpower will be getting the last shield. We can now switch out into Dragonite and Dragon Breath down. I could have just Fast Moved down, but either way, we win that game. In Game 3, we pick up a lead against Suicune. They are on Ice Fang. Even though it didn't get stabbed, they were doing too much damage. Even though we would resist the charge move of Bubble Beam, we would have to respect the Ice Beam. So I build up a bit of energy and switch out into Snorlax. Once again, the opponent switched out a bit late into Dragonite. You can see that we've already got this Dragonite super low, so I am just going to match shields. If the opponent doesn't shield this move up, we should be able to win the 0 shield. Snorlax, Dragonite, we reach our charge moves at the same time. The fact that we are ahead should mean we should lick down. Snorlax does win switch and we still got both of our shields. They actually bring in an Excadrill, which is absolutely crazy as they are obviously going to have to shield up this superpower. We do draw the first shield. It looks like the opponent is going to commit to the farm down. We bring in Hariyama. Back out comes the Suicune. Can we clutch out this game? I've got absolutely no doubt the opponent is going to bait me. So despite being one of the squishiest Pokemon you'll ever see, I am not shielding up a Bubble Beam. And we are now going to go for this Heavy Slam. Heavy Slam would obviously be heavy resisted, but the fact they've got an Excadrill in the back means we draw the last shield. So at this stage, we are getting low. I am going to shield up the Bubble Beam. It absolutely sucks. Rip to me. But we are now quite loaded, full of energy. I fire off this Heavy Slam. I'm undercharging it. All I'm trying to do here is stall out the switch clock. It doesn't care. I'm looking to try and snipe with Dragonite. We unfortunately don't snipe, but we do catch the Bubble Beam. So we are still in a great spot. We managed to farm them down. If the Excadrill comes back out, I believe Dragonite does win CMP. They have got a move loaded. Let's see if it is a CMP tie. Dragonclaw does do a decent bit of chip damage and it is a CMP. Absolute best case scenario. This takes out our Dragonite. I can now bring in Hariyama. We're one counter away. This superpower is going to be enough to take the game. So GG's to the opponent and Shadow Hariyama once again clutches out this game. Moving on into game 4. And would you believe it, yet another lost lead. We see Dragonite Excadrill. Obviously it is dreadful. We switch out into Snorlax. The opponent is building up absolutely loads of energy. So with this in mind, I've got zero doubt that they are going to shield this bait. We land the bait. They obviously aren't going to want to go down with almost 2 moves. I'm going to let the first one go through and see what the opponent wants to do. They throw the drill run. Are they going to switch out? They do switch out super late into a Gyarados. Snorlax Gyarados is again fairly neutral. It's much like the Dragonite matchup. We would lose CMP and we reach our charge moves at the same time. The opponent does throw their energy. At this stage now, I am just going to let Snorlax go down and look to come in and farm down with Dragonite. I'm looking at the health. Shadow Dragonite does hit really hard. I believe I will take him out before they reach a crunch. I am counting fast moves. This is just an Aqua Tail. They don't have the energy for a crunch, so there's no need to shield. Aqua Tail doesn't really do anything despite the fact we are super squishy, and once again I'm spamming out Hariyama. They've got a Melmetal in the back, so you can see that Hariyama, despite having hardly any wins, it beats what you see, and that's what's important when you're running Spice. I shield up this charge move, expecting them to superpower and dip. They really strangely go for a Rock Slide and they dip out anyway. So I am now going to have to shield up this Drill Run, which we do. I'm looking to counter down. Can we do it? Unfortunately, we cannot. But I believe Shadow Hariyama will survive a move, which it does. We managed to farm down. We've got 2 moves locked and loaded. And for no reason other than the fact they Rock Slided me, I'm going to bait in return. One BM deserves another. We now got the superpower, and this will be enough to take the game. One bait deserves another, and Hariyama once again sweeps. GG's to that opponent. Moving on into the next battle, we finally pick up a lead that is fairly neutral. You're going to see that one Dark Pulse does huge damage. Dark Pulse isn't the best move, but Dragonite is so squishy. Gets us into the yellow already. It's really important to time our charge moves so they don't sneak any free snarls. We fire off just before they get to the next Dark Pulse. The opponent does shield. They've overfarmed, so at this stage I'm just going to spam out another Dragonclaw. Imagining they are going to double shield, which they do. I really don't think the opponent is going to be able to farm down. The opponent realises this as they've got hardly any HP. Even though I could win switch, I'm not going to shield up a low health Pokemon. They haven't got enough for a Focus Blast, so with that in mind, I can bring in Hariyama and tank the resisted charge move. We've got a 2-shielded Snorlax and a Hariyama. Let's see what the back line is. The opponent is thinking what they want to bring in. I feel like whatever it is, we're going to be alright. They bring in a Groudon. I decide to switch into Snorlax, and in the back, they've got a Metagross. So, at this stage, the licks are hitting for super effective. I am going to have to shield up these Meteor Mashers. They would do big damage. And all I need to do is get rid of this Metagross and we should be in a good spot. I don't want to debuff myself because I don't want a Fire Punch to be threatening. So I'm just going to fire off back-to-back Body Slams, which will be enough to take out the Metagross. And we are now super healthy for this Groudon. Groudon is going to have to Earthquake us to take us out. The opponent is firing immediately. However, I've got a fairly good memory. This body is a Fire Punch, so you're going to get a no shield. and we are going to be able to get to this Body Slam. Body Slam doesn't do much as Groudon is an absolute monster. Body Slam gets it into the yellow. I'm now going to bring in Hariyama. This again is a Fire Punch. I really don't know if we would survive. I've got a shield, so I shield it up, and this superpower should be enough to take this game. Hariyama once again coming in clutch. GG's to the opponent. Moving on into the next battle, we pick up a lead against Palkia. This is fairly neutral-ish. The Dragon Tails do more damage to Dragonite than our Dragon Breaths do to Palkia due to how squishy we are. However, we are going to draw a shield, which we do, because the Dragon Claw would obviously KO. They switch out and manage to snipe me with a Garchomp. So this could be the triple dragon line that I believe Jonkus was showcasing. I bring in Shadow Hariyama. This is just the Santoums. They're fired after 5, so I'm not going to shield it up. I am going to go for a superpower and I'm going to look to dip into Snorlax. Let's see if the opponent wants to shield. They do shield, which is really terrible because I believe I'm probably going to lose with both my shields. Once again, they go for a Santoom. So this is where the problem lies when you're running these triple shadow, really squishy teams. I've had no charge moves to shield. It's just been fast move beatdown. We get to this Body Slam. Unfortunately, it doesn't KO, so we take yet more Dragon Tail damage. They've got a Togekiss in the back, and this is absolutely G to the G. So, unfortunately for us, we are pretty hard countered in the back. I fire the Body Slam and just leave the match. GG's to the opponent. Moving on into the next battle. We pick up a lead against Mewtwo. Unfortunately, the Shadow Dragonite gets near one-shot by a Side Strike, so I am going to have to shield this up, as it would put us in the red. However, the Dragon Breath super oppressive. You can see it's absolutely ripping through this Mewtwo. I fire off, attempted to deny the Psycho Cut. We are unfortunately not able to do so. So I draw a shield with the Dragon Claw and I dip into Snorlax to tank this Side Strike. The problem here is the fact that I let a free Psycho Cut in means they're not low enough for us to be able to lick down. So you can see they do survive. I could shield this up and farm down. I'm already down 1 shield, so I'm just going to sack the Snorlax, which obviously isn't the best play. But it is what it is. We've got 1 shield remaining. We come in with Dragonite. We commit to the farm down. Let's see what the opponent has in the back. The opponent, once again, is waiting out their switch time, but they've actually got a Kyogre in the back, which means they've probably got a Giratina Origin in the back, and Shadow Hariyama really isn't going to appreciate that whatsoever. They've actually got a Dragonite of their own, which is pretty much equally as bad. We will draw a shield with this Dragon Claw. I'm just going to fire off as much Dragon Breath damage as possible. And at this stage now, the Kyogre has energy, so I can't shield this up, as the Surf would do more damage. But either way, we're in a rough spot. The only win con for us here would be, well, there isn't a win con, so we're just going to lose this match. GG's to that opponent. So after a really good start, we've lost 2 on the bounce. Can we come back and recover? So as I was saying, when you're using these spice picks, you do need alignment, and in the last couple of games, we just haven't had it whatsoever. Once again, we pick up a lead against Palkia. This Palkia, however, is on Dragon Breath. They actually switch out into a Charmer, which is brilliant, as also when I see a Charm lead, I just top left. So we've seen the Charmer in the back this time. We fire our Body Slam and we deny a Charm, which is fantastic. Body Slam lands and Sylveon isn't anywhere near as bulky as Togekiss. They don't fire off the Side Shot. Looks like they're committing to the Moonblast. We do let a Charm through, but we managed to take them out with a Body Slam. So Snorlax is quite healthy, and that we've just got rid of, hopefully, the biggest threat to Hariyama. They come back in with Palkia. They fire off the Aqua Tail. Doesn't quite KO. However, this Palkia now is deep into the yellow. I now wait out my switch time. I bring in Dragonite. I don't fire off, expecting him to try and catch it. In the back is a Giratina. Once again, Hariyama is hard counted in the back. I need to try and grab both shields and do as much Dragon Breath damage as possible. We fire off this Dragon Claw. The Dragon Breath is absolutely shredding this Giratina. The opponent is obviously weary that we're close to a third, so they do throw energy. So with 2 shields, can Hariyama somehow manage to counter a Ghost type? I am once again counting the Shadow Claws. This is 6. So despite the fact they've got 2 shields, I'm not shielding up an Ominous Wind. Probably should have shielded, but either way, we still have 2 shields. Heavy Slam coming through. It doesn't get stabbed. Let's see how much damage it does. It lands, it doesn't KO them. At this stage now, I am going to shield up the Ominous Wind. They are now super low. We managed to counter down. We've now got the superpower locked and loaded. So can we get a Shadow Hariyama Giratina counter confirmed? Well, it absolutely isn't, but we actually managed to win that game. GG's to the opponent. Moving on into the next battle, we pick up a lead against Origin Form Giratina. They switch out into a Zacian, and I've really got no response for this. So I switch into Snorlax. I'm going to fire this Body Slam. I attempt to CMP on the close combat. The opponent doesn't throw. They are now at 8 snarls, so this could be a back-to-back close combat. They actually go for the play rough, which is better for us. So now I'm going to be able to get to another Body Slam. I'm really hoping the opponent doesn't shield, which they don't. They are now nowhere near the back-to-back. They need another 2 snarls for the back-to-back close combat. So I'm going to shield this up and look to lick down. We lick down successfully. They now bring in Ho-Ho. So once again, Hariyama has absolutely zero play. So we're going to have to somehow wriggle around this. I switch out into my Dragonite. I'm once again time my charge move to not let any incinerates through. You can see we've shredded this Ho-Oh. We do draw the opponent's shield. I'm obviously going to have to shield up this Brave Bird. The opponent will now dip into the Giratina. So they've got a shield left. I'm timing my charge moves. I'm really hoping my switch timer comes back up as a sacrificial swap will be the only win con for us. They are going to take us out with a Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, you can see in the right corner, my switch timer hasn't popped up, so I'm now scratching my head. How can I win this game? I'm thinking I'm going to come in with Snorlax, get it into Heavy Slam range. Let's see if that's what we do. If the opponent throws an Ominous Wind here, it won't KO us, so we have a Body Slam loaded. I'm going to now switch out as my switch timer has popped up. And here you are going to see a bit of a misplay. You see I have got the superpower. The Giratina is so low, it would have KO'd from this range. However, it would have debuffed our defense. But I get taken out with the Shadow Ball. They switch out into Ho-Oh. I'm going to fire this Body Slam, take out the Ho-Oh before they're at a move. And unfortunately, we get Shadow Clawed down. GG's to that opponent. So, moving on into the next battle. We pick up a lead against a Shadow Mewtwo. This is where you're going to see how absolutely bollocks this game is. I'm using a one-turn move. We shield up the first side strike and I look to catch the second. So if you look in the right corner, you see me tap the... Well, actually, I'm going to go for this Dragon Claw first, so bear with us. Dragon Claw will definitely draw the shield as Mewtwo is super squishy. And now you're going to see I'm timing it. I switch into Snorlax. We're using a one-turn move, so there's absolutely no reason why that switch wouldn't register other than the fact the game loves to screw me. They switch out into Dialga. We bring in Hariyama. We have no shield, so I'm going to go straight for this superpower, hoping to draw the opponent's last shield. Either way, it will debuff, but they actually let it go, so they're saving the shields for whatever is in the back. They bring in a Kyogre, so we could still have some play here, despite the fact we've got no shields left. We fire off this superpower once again. It does debuff our defense, so they get less farm, and we've actually got them into the yellow. So Shadow Hariyama, even though it hasn't done much in the last few games, we do manage to put in some work in this matchup. We switch out back into the Dragonite, as we are resisting the waterfalls. We draw the opponent's last shield. They do need to go for a Thunder to take us out, but most Kyogres do run Blizzard. It is just a Surf, so we switch out into Snorlax. The opponent also switches out. We lick down the Mewtwo, and at this stage, we are just going to be able to lick down. You can see I've got the Body Slam, but I'm a bit impatient. I don't really want to go for a charge move. The opponent does fire off, though. That's fine, and we are just going to lick down. So Hariyama in that matchup did put in some work. GG's to that opponent. Moving on into the last battle of the video, we pick up another Mewtwo lead. This Mewtwo is regular. Either way, our Dragon Breaths do still really shred it. We are once again going to have to shield up this Side Strike, and you've seen how I like to play this. I'm going to fire one Dragon Claw. Actually, this time I choose not to fire a Dragon Claw and I just dip into Snorlax, saving all that energy. Either way, I always look to try and catch the second move. The opponent is staying in just as they reach the Side Strike. This time we do lick down. That would be because we got a lick in on the switch, which is fantastic. So the Mewtwo goes down just before they reach the next Side Strike, and our Snorlax has loads of energy. They bring in a Groudon, so Snorlax is going to spam out some Body Slams. The opponent is still over farming. I believe I'm almost in Fire Punch range, but the opponent lets us get to another Body Slam. We've got this Groudon now, super low. We get some lag. You love to see it. The Groudon is now really, really low. We are just going to let Snorlax go down, as we are absolutely not bothered by this Groudon's energy whatsoever with Dragonite. I am looking to commit to the farm down. A Fire Punch, Earthquake, Solar Beam, do whatever you like. It's just a Fire Punch. In the back, they've got a Zarude. The fact they've got 2 shields means that I'm just going to fast move, beat down everything. So the opponent isn't actually going to get a chance to use any shields. I'm going to shield up this Power Whip. I'm going to get it as low as possible with just counter. There's no point really throwing at this stage. This Power Whip will take us out, but we are resisting Vine Whip, so we should be able to fast move, beat down this Zarude, which we do. In the back, the Groudon super low and with hardly any energy, so we actually just fast move, beat down everything. Triple Shadows OP. So they were the battles featuring Shadow Hariyama. You can see we did have some fairly decent success. I went 9-6 with this team. You saw, I think, 6 or 7 wins and 3 losses, so just a mixture. Some of the losses I didn't include were a couple of Charmleys are just top left, so there's absolutely no content to see there. So I'd just like to say thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I will see you all in the next one.